Hey guys, this is Woodworking, and I'm going to give you some commentary on a ranked game I played today. This is POA Gold level, actually a game before we got to Vainglory. I'm a Rome main, and we're duo queuing me and Master Chief, got a random third. We had kind of a weird draft on this one. The enemy team first picked Rhyme on the B side. So going into this game, I definitely think we won draft. I was thinking it was probably going to be double CP because weapon power saw isn't really a thing at this tier right now. If you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're at least tier 5. So most of the things I say are going to be geared towards people who know things I would expect people at that tier to know. As we get to the shop here, the B-side team actually beat us, which I was a little surprised about. They must have skipped their first minion. So I end up getting caught out here because of the way I went over the wall to get those fronts. Adagio gets eyes on me and they see that Kestrel's too far behind me and I die. So they win the first fight. Had we both gotten to the shop at the same time, or we gotten there first, we definitely would have had a chance in that fight. Just comp-wise, they didn't have a definite advantage. And when I play Lance, I'm always looking for a fight right after the first rotation. So I'm going to head to lane and let my jungler farm on his own, so he gets extra XP. I see Adagio kind of overextended here, taking farm, and easy kill. Even before we got that kill on Adagio, we're actually ahead because the enemy team skipped one of their minions to beat us to the shop. And so when they went and took that, it's going to take that thing longer to respawn than all of our farm is. So a really good start to the game for us, even though we technically lost the first fight. My general rule of thumb when I roam as far as who to stay with is to stay in the lane so that my jungler can level up faster unless my jungler is either getting pressured or is attempting to put pressure on the enemy jungle. And that's what I'm going to do for the next couple minutes. Right here I actually decided to do something pretty dumb and get caught out again. Suppressing fire mixed with Adagio's slow. I underestimated it and died for it. Not a huge deal, but pointless death. I'm going to take a look at the builds here, and I'd see that they are going double CP. As a roamer, I'm always trying to identify what the biggest threat is. So I need to be thinking about, after Fountain, which is always my first item, with almost no exceptions, what I need to get next. And the biggest threat for my team here is going to be Adagio's ult, if he's able to stun one or more of us. He doesn't have it yet. He's not going to have it for a while because he needs to be level 6, but it's something that's on my mind. You'll see me checking builds a lot. It's something I'm working on right now, is to try to be more aware of what the enemy team is building, where they are, what they're doing. I identified that as a weakness in my game, so I'm working on it. And just generally speaking, it's something that everyone should be doing, not just the roamer. I see people even at POA level not checking builds almost the entire game. Just every time you have a spare moment, take a look, see if there's anything out of place. It's good to know when people have power spikes when they get their tier 3 items. It can really change games. So as we're up here trading in the lane, my jungler decides to invade. I have no health, but I'm going to go try to help. And as you'll see, I get immediately deleted. Oh well, it's the thought that counts, right? Another thing I wanted to mention is I actually really like Lance as a roam into Rhyme. I know he's melee and he's not supposed to do well, but because of his CC with the Githian wall, he's able to keep Rhyme off his carries, and that peel is huge, and because Rhyme has that slow with his auto attack, and if you can keep him from auto attacking your carries or even you, can really change jungle engages and team fights. I'm also going to be looking to try to time my Githian walls to keep Saw off of my carries when he's using his A ability. And sometimes I'm able to root him while he's running too. It's hard to land, but I'll give it a try throughout the game. I decided to buy boots here, which is not normally something I do as Lance. Normally I'll get my fountain first, and then I'll get boots. But I guess I was probably just thinking because I had gotten caught out a couple times, it'd be nice to have the boots and get away from the 3 slows the enemy team has, because they can be pretty brutal if 2 or more of them are chained. Probably should have tried to stay with my jungler, but I figured she was going to die even if I was there, and I did end up snagging that minion, and that kept Adagio from being able to stay in the fight. So actually, that was probably the right decision to stay there and try to steal that farm. We're about to hit 6 minutes in the game, which is generally when I like to have fountain buy, but I'm delayed because I decided to get boots. I'm also aware that this is usually when most people hit level 6, somewhere around now, so something I have in the back of my head to be wary of people having their ultimates. Didn't mean to engage Saw there with my Githian wall, just trying to take that turret down. And we did, so that was good. And because we got the turret, I look at my gold and realize that I can afford fountain, so actually really not that late at all. We're doing really well so far, the game's going great. Double CP is just not good right now, and they should be pretty strong early, and we're still winning. Scarf makes a call here to grab the gold mine, which was a good call. We're all together at the shop. We have vision on their tri-bush, and we have a super fast clear. We're able to knock it out right before they get there, which just puts us even further ahead. So we didn't really take much damage to the gold mine. I was tanking it. I didn't even really take that much damage. So we decided to jump on them here, kind of get split up. It was really an awkward engage. That was a pretty good fountain by me. You kind of got a fountain early with Rhyme because his damage is so bursty and comes in waves. So, like I was saying earlier, you saw how once he's able to get onto Scarf, an auto attacker, and the slow gets involved, he's really dangerous against anybody. Ends up being a bad fight for us, just probably because of how it started, how we got split up, and then Saw took me out, and Ryan was able to jump on my carries. Looking at the builds right now, I don't know if you saw it a second ago, but Adagio built Contraption first, which is really weird into us. It's a bad choice. There's no need to have that much vision on us. None of us can go invisible except for Kestrel, and she's really, as a weapon power carry, she's not going to be going invis enough that you need Contraption first. So we're ahead. I mean, we did lose that fight, but we got the gold mine right before it. I popped right before my carries died, so it was not an ace, and we're still in a pretty good spot. I think at this point I made the call that we should kind of push lane because I saw that Adagio did not go fountain. So you're going to see us try to push lane. They all converge on their turret, so we can't really push it. It's not worth it. So Kestrel's going to take off, start doing her farming thing. I'm going to stick with Scarf because all 3 are still in lane. And the enemy team's going to take that as an opportunity to try to 3v2 us. I guess Adagio was just itching to use his ult because he tries to rush in and get burned down and stun us. Luckily, my reaction time is decent enough that I was able to push him away, and he only got burned down on me, and nothing comes of that except now his super long cooldown is now activated on his ult. And I'm working towards Crucible, just got my reflex block. We're happy to kind of fight here because we have a turret to fall back on, and I have Fountain once again, and they do not. If you look at the mini map right now, you can see him down there at shop. Something you should be doing a lot as a roam is try to keep track of where the enemy team is. Now that I saw them disappear, we should know that they could be coming up our way, and they are. I just want to point those things out as I see them. That's how you completely miss your roll over a wall. I'm super skilled, as you can tell. As I'm watching this, I'm realizing that Adagio is totally winning the vision game. Um, One nice thing for him about going contraption first. Not really anything I can do about it because it doesn't make sense for me to get contraption here. I have other things I need to get. So I'll have to do my best with flares and mines. But another thing I just have in the back of my head, he's always going to have more vision than me, so I need to take paths that will explode mines in spots people usually place them. So Rhyme just made an ill-advised move and got wrecked for it, and that's a free gold mine for us. You should always be thinking about this kind of stuff. If you ever get a free kill, get something for it. Whether it's taking jungle farm or, the gold miner, obviously in this case. Always, when you get an advantage, get something more for it. Like winning a fight doesn't really give you anything other than a little bit of gold. You want to also push that advantage once you get one. You can see here, Adagio still does not have a fountain, but it's going to be his next buy, so um, sucks for them. I mean, your roamer doesn't have a fountain 12 minutes into the game. That's shouldn't be happening at POA gold level, but it's good for us. So next buy, I'm thinking war treads, because there's not really anything else I should be getting. An Atlas isn't really going to do that much. There's nobody to really slow auto attacks from. I made a mistake here. I don't have any flares on me. I think all my slots were taken. I should have probably sold my weapon blade and bought flares, because it's not good to not have flares in your pocket. But we're going to press on. I'm just going to go face check bushes. Adagio ends up being right here. And he keeps doing this throughout the game. He tries to get burned down and then immediately stun. I mean, even if that stun had landed, his carries weren't in a place to take advantage of it. Yeah, stun him out of it, so it didn't matter. I don't generally like to take kills, but I was under turret there, so we needed to get that kill. Really good fight for us. Despite them doing poorly, we played well in that fight. If you go back and watch the fight, some things to pay attention to are how we juggled turret aggro. I actually stunned Saw out of his roadie run. One of the things I mentioned at the beginning of the video was that I was going to try to do that this game, and I did do it there. And also, specifically for what I'm doing, pay attention to how long I held on to Crucible and Fountain. It might have even been slightly too long, but it worked out. The longer you can hold on to those things without your teammates dying, the better off you are.
Enemy team stole a minion mine. Your minions are now weaker.
At this point, I have pretty much all the roam items I want to have. I mean, it'd be nice to have a contraption, but I don't really want to spend the money on it, and I can do vision this way. His contraption isn't really hurting us that much, so I just go for more shield instead. Going double CP, it's always a good idea to get an extra shield on your mind as a roam. Fountain does give you kinetic shield worth of whatever it is, 75 shield, but it's really not that much, so getting a second one or even into an Aegis really helps out. There you see me nail another sweet roll over a wall. Like I said, I'm really skilled. And it actually caused me to be late to this fight. Adagio does the thing I mentioned earlier that he's been doing. Immediately uses his ult. I don't think that's the right way to play Adagio. It's not that you should never use his ult early in a fight, but I don't know, everybody's focused on that at the beginning of the fight if you do it right away, and it's much easier to block. Everybody still has the reflex blocks up, crucibles up, so if you can save it, sometimes it can be a lot more effective mid-fight. But yeah, we're just steamrolling at this point. There's really nothing they can do to win this game. We won in draft, and we're more skilled, so this game's going all downhill for them. Big part of it is that their roam's not doing the things a roamer should be doing. But, oh well, sucks for them.
Unleashed the Kraken.
I beg your pardon.
So, Kestrel pushed her turret as we took the Kraken. We saw it. Had a moment pause there at the shop. I kind of didn't really know what to buy. I guess it doesn't even matter. I don't know what a flare gun's going to do. The game's over, but whatever. If for some unforeseen reason we don't end up winning the game, I guess it'll be nice to have more vision. More vision never hurt any team. That's for sure.
Turret destroyed.
I gotta give him credit. Rhyme actually did a really good job poking during this fight. Maybe used Fountain earlier than I probably would have liked to, but like I said, they're not doing any work on the crack and the game's over. There's even playing well like they did there, there's nothing they can do. Crack and push with only 2 turrets up is really hard to stop, especially with double CP. Hope you learned something. See you on the fold.